Chuck Breneman. I'm an equipment operator here at the Arlington Ag Research Station. We're all in a wheat field here that we're going to work on harvesting today and finish up from what we were doing yesterday. Different crops are going to require different settings and also require maybe a different concave and a separator grate. Changes that we would make on this combine from doing soybeans and corn is we're going to change our concaves out and we're going to go to a small wire setup. This is more for small grains. And then we'll also change the grates in the back here to the slotted grates so there's more open area for the grain to fall out, but also will help with the straw. We'll turn around and actually won't chew the straw up so bad. And I should be able to get a fairly clean sample with this setup then. The small wires also help with hard to thrash crops, typically wheat. So for small grains, we would watch our speed on there for our rotor speed. We want to be fast enough to do a good job thrashing, but also get good straw out of that if that's what we're after. Depending on what kind of straw you're trying to manage out of this. If you're trying to get windrows for baling, you want to change your speeds and maybe watch your clearances so that you're threshing out the grain and getting a good clean sample, but also trying to achieve a longer straw that isn't all chewed up. If you're chopping the straw and blowing it back on the ground, you could run that a little faster and grind the straw up a little more. But speed and clearance will play a factor in this. And yes, so it's being that I've changed concaves and it's a different setup than from corn and soybeans. Those are adjustments that are in the cab. Okay, so we've made a pass with our combine. We want to evaluate what we've done and check for loss. So we want to go back in here and pull back the windrow a little bit, the straw. And we're going to look for a grain loss. Now, small grains, because they're hard to find, we want to So we have a few in here, not many. There's a couple there, and there's one there. Most manufacturers will tell us we can have up to a 2% loss, and I believe it's 70 kernels in a square foot to get 1 bushel of loss. So we would have to have close to 140 kernels in a square foot to have a 2% loss, and we're well under that. The other thing I want to look for is, am I threshing the heads out? These are obviously been threshed out, and there's no grain left in these heads. I could change some settings on this. I'm beating up the straw plenty. I could open up my concave, possibly slow down my rotor to achieve better straw and still thresh out plenty of the grain. So if we had head scab in the field, one of the things we can do is we can increase our fan and try to blow more of those light kernels, those disease kernels out the back of the machine. But there's a fine line about doing that, because we could also, if we're blowing too much out, we could blow out too many good kernels too and lose yield. Depending on elevator dockage, maybe you want to take some out and it's not that big of a deal. You can try to blow the scab kernels, the light kernels out and leave them in the field. And as long as you watch your settings and you're not leaving too many good kernels, or you can just take them and take the dockage at the elevator. It depends on how bad it is.